So, you're wondering, are there going to be any remixed Castlevania songs coming along? Well, of course there are. You see, every song in Castlevania is a remix. If it sounds like it's not a remix, that just means it's a remix of itself. And that's a stone-cold fact. Anyway, it's time to get on with our boss fights. There's 2 of these rooms on the way up. Each one contains a potential boss fight, although neither of them actually have to contain a boss fight. So we're going to go over this one first, and... walk to the door. I've been waiting for this. At last we reach the climax. I like the climax. It's the good part of the film. I'll take off my hat, I will, like I have come to take my leave. But first there is a small thing I require from you. That scroll you've used so often, did you read what it says? It's written in ancient Celtic. Impossible to pronounce. What is written is thus. Claim select now. You've agreed to a contract with Satan. Borrow over 30,000 gold pieces and your soul is forfeit. Ye have taken far more than this amount. Actually, you've given it to me, but that's just splitting hairs, don't you know? I now enforce the contract. Your soul is mine. I'll turn into this silly bat thing. That'll surely help me out a lot. I hate my toothpick glass. Right, this is the death boss that Reinhardt fights. Instead of having sickles, though, he has silly puffs of fire, I suppose. We're on a far smaller platform than you would normally fight death on, which means that the camera's all screwy. And for Carrie, these bolts will actually distract your aim and make you aim at the wrong thing, which is bad. You'd think this is the sort of boss that Carrie would have that spawns a lot of false targets, but no, and you're about to see the extremely silly attack, which I told everyone to use follow attacks on. You're about to see why. He waves his stick around and... he summons his fighting hellfish! As you do. He's got a little baby hellfish with it even. Oh, isn't it lovely when the family gets together? No, it's evil. It's a fairly easy boss, actually. What you got to do is just start charging a bolt when he's the nearest thing to you. That's how Carrie's lock-on system works, you see. The hellfish will hit you occasionally, but you don't really have to worry about much. It doesn't do a lot of damage, and he hasn't got a lot of hits either. So this is a pretty easy thing to do. Now, it's the next boss that actually decides what's going to happen to you, whether you're going to get the good ending or the bad ending, and it is time of day dependent. So, I actually haven't burned enough sun cards to get it to happen. I've used 5 of them. It turns out I had to use 7. So, I'm really not sure what the time limit actually is anymore. I always thought it was 6 days since you meet Charlie Vincent, I think it is, but no, it turns out it's not. And he just keeps throwing his crap at us as he tends to. Now imagine, you're going to have to fight this guy's Reinhardt. That's going to be fun. No, it's not. Right, so we just got a couple more hits of him left, and then we can defeat him. Here he goes, one more hit, I think. He's going to do his charge at attack, but he's going to fail at it violently. Oh, Glass, you're terrible. I'll just go back to hell and write him a bad check. You'll nae see me again in this section of the LP at least. Okay, so we're just going to use ourselves a roast chicken, and then we will get on with it. And we will see that, in fact, we haven't wasted enough time yet, so let's proceed forth. Alright, that was the boss battle. Renon, then. It's not essential, and it doesn't get you the bad ending. It just wastes a bit of time and makes it slightly more likely that you'll get the bad ending. So, up and up we go, onwards and upwards to the final battle with the fake Dracula lad. But firstly, we're going to find that... Now, luckily it lets you go in and out of these rooms, which means that if you find you haven't got the cutscene, which trigger is here, there you can just go back and burn a couple of sun cards and continue. So there will be a transition here while I ensure that I've wasted enough time to get the boss battle that comes next, with the easiest vampire in the game. Here we go. So far we've still got 5 sun cards. We now have 4, and we're going to use another one because I walked back in and out and found it still hadn't triggered. Marvellous. So if anyone wants to suggest precisely how long this actually is that we've got to get here, I am all ears, except my feet, which aren't. They are treacherous. You must watch out for them. So, we will go in here again, and this time the fucking cutscene will actually happen. Here we go, and dump, there we are. Some feet! They're going to attack us, oh no! Oh, a familiar trench coat it is. I warned you!
It does not do to treat vampires like... Oh shit, I'm a vampire. Jesus, mother of fuck. Your weak skills will be of no help to an experienced vampire hunter, let alone an experienced vampire, neither of which I am.
Okay, it's time to fight Charlie Vincent. Charlie Vincent is the weakest vampire in the game. All he can do is follow you around extremely slowly and throw holy water at you, also extremely slowly. It's unholy water and it'll poison you if it hits you, but that aside, he's useless. He throws his unholy water a little bit faster as you hit him more, but he is no threat whatsoever at any stage during this battle, really. All you have to do is keep walking in circles and throwing bolts, and that's it. That is all there is to this battle. He's almost dead already, as you can see, and here we go. One more shot, and he will start throwing actual holy water. And he will murder his own ass because he is unbearably dumb. Okay, so that was Charlie Vincent. Charlie Vincent decides whether you get the good ending or the bad ending. He also, as he always does, screws around with the local temporal system, which means that the place he turns up is not where the game ends here, because that would make sense. So anyway, we have vanquished that final foe, and now we are up into Dracula's Keep itself. Now, those of you who know this game well will know that I'm skipping out some stuff here. Don't worry, we're going to get that when we actually do the proper fight. We've already got 3 healing kits, so we don't need 3 more. That would be ludicrous. Alright, we've got a save gem there, which we're obviously not going to use. Instead, we're going to blunder on over to Dracula's coffin here. What an unbelievably and ridiculously huge coffin. Oh.
It's exactly the right size, you horrible tart. Now look what you've done. I didn't do anything. I didn't touch it. What's in here?
It's dust. Oh. Oh, I see. Dracula's decided to try something clever and you just stuck his coffin full of nerve gas instead. You're going to die soon. Oh, guess not. No, it was just full of mist. That's where he'd been keeping it. Okay, so we look left. And we look right. Soon we'll be able to cross the road.
Well, you dare oppose the power of darkness? Is it death you seek?
He's Welsh. Is it death you see? Right, so he floats his way down. This is the fake Dracula, and he's ridiculously tall. And he's the only vampire in the game that actually managed to vampirize me, and that was only because I was screwing around when I was fighting him to get the good ending. You'll see that later on, though. Wow. A Jewish what?
I will tear you limb from limb.
From limb. Okay, this is the fake Dracula. He teleports around. He throws his battery bats at us because a portal to bat space is located inside his cloak. He is a fiendish villain, you see. Now, we can actually kill those bats and you can farm them. You can get power-ups and healing items out of them, which is really, really stupid. He's got an attack where he sends out 2 shockwaves, one low and one high, due to the fact that this is 3D, you see. He's got a flamethrower attack, which for some reason he also keeps in his cloak, and he can suck us towards him using his inward suckety power of Dysonness. That will allow him to pick us up and try to vampirize us, so we're not going to let him do that because it's terrible. Here we go, we're about to see us. There you go, that's his suckety power. 200 watts of pure suck. And that's just this boss fight. Okay, so there we go, we've got a chicken out of killing one of his projectiles. And we get flamethrowered for our troubles, that's mean. So we will now use a roast chicken, one of our many healing items, and then we will get back onto collabulating the Dracula fellow. No, it's fairly standard. He teleports around and he throws fire at us, you know, like every Castlevania game ever made. Malice actually does pretty much the same thing. It's somewhat of an embarrassment, that boss battle, but we shall not say more about that, otherwise we'll ruin our prospects for the future, you know.